Congressman, always good to have you. Thank you for your time this morning, sir. That Judiciary Committee hearing, a testimony from George Floyd's brother, along with other witnesses. What are you hoping comes out of that hearing?
Well, thank you very much for having me, Melvin. I'm very hopeful that this hearing today will form the foundation upon which we can have some real debate as to the Justice in Policing Act that will be filed tomorrow with more than 200 members of Congress, members of the House, and another nearly 40 senators as co-sponsors. I'm hoping that that hearing will give us the foundation that we need to get positive action on the part of the House and the Senate, and a positive response from the President of the United States. I think that what we're hearing in that hearing and what we heard from the chief here today, and I sat here and watched and listened to the chief. He is establishing something that I have been saying for the last several days. We need to come to the realization that we have a law enforcement system, a policing practices that come from two divergent set of experiences. A white community that's built from people who came into this country of their own free will, seeking freedom and justice, and a black set of experiences of people who came to this country against their will, chained, shackled, and enslaved. And this whole law enforcement judicial system has been built upon those two pillars. Now, we now need to come to grips with that reality and say that it's time for us to restructure that. And that's what I've been saying. We got to restructure our healthcare system that's caused so many people of color, black and brown, to be dying for COVID-19 far beyond their presence in our society. We got to restructure our educational system that's now being denied so many of our children from be able to go on to the next grade and under threat of losing another year of school. We got to restructure our judicial system so as freedom and justice will be there for all. So I'm not going to back away from that. I hope that the House and Senate will have a serious discussion about that. We are able to do all these things. What we've got to do now is develop the will. We have not developed the will, and that's what keeps us from doing these things, our willingness to confront those two realities.
Congressman, really quickly here, I do want to ask you about this push from some activists to defund the police. And again, there's some confusion over precisely what that means. But by and large, it seems to mean reallocating a lot of the money that goes toward law enforcement in this country, redirecting that money to community programs, social programs. As I understand it, you're against that. Why?
I'm not against reallocating money. I'm all for reallocating money to places that would deal with. I am against defund. I do not like that word. The word means what it is. And, I don't have a problem with words like that. Look it up in the dictionary. What does it mean? So if you are talking about reform in the police, then you and I are together. Look, Skip Holbrook, who was our chief here in Columbia, is a good police officer. He runs a good department. In fact, he has now been called upon to help fashion, I think there are 3 mayors and 3 police chiefs. He's one of the police chiefs and now going to be fashioning some new approach to policing. People recognize him as a good cop. So what I'm all for is us taking a hard look at our practices and have reforms where we need them. We need the police. We want the police. They have a role to play. And so let's not get so carried away that we allow sloganeering to hijack this movement. That's what happened to us back in the 60s. John Lewis and I never struck any matches, never threw any rocks. But Burn, Baby Burn became the headline, and that's what the people use as an excuse to reject any kind of, I would say to resist any kind of change. So I don't want us to allow sloganeering to cause people of goodwill to resist making the changes that we need to make. So yes, reallocate resources, reform policing, no to defund the police.